Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. Today I want to talk to you guys about starting over from scratch. Have you ever had to do that? How many times in your adult life have you had to start over from scratch? You thought you were living your best life, maybe in a relationship, maybe not. Maybe you had a great job. Maybe you had kids, maybe you didn't. Really doesn't matter. How many times have you thought you were living your best life and the rug was ripped out from underneath you and you had to start all over from scratch? Let me tell you something. There are two kinds of people. When you have to start over from scratch, there are two kinds of people that come out of that. One is somebody who is strong. Somebody who is extremely strong. And here's why. Because starting over is not easy. After you have been through pain and devastation, and to have to rebuild your life over again is a very difficult thing to do. If you have done it, and if you've done it a lot of times, congratulations. I am so proud of you. You are a winner, and you have strength beyond what other people can even comprehend. And here's why. Because when you have to start over from scratch, you have to buy everything new. You have to figure things out. You're starting your life over as if you're just starting it out after you graduated high school or college, whichever it is. And it's not an easy thing to do. And a lot of people get stuck in that victim mentality. But we'll explain about the victim mentality here in a minute. I'm talking to you ones, the ones of you that have rebuilt your lives over and over several times in your lifetime, and you've always come back better and stronger. You are the strength. You are the winner. Anybody else who has not done it and been through what you've been through, they're not a winner. You have to fail, and you have to be brought to your knees several times and pick yourself back up. The difference between you and the other people that don't do that, who stay in the victim mentality, either get involved in the drugs or the different addictions or the pity party, they get stuck there because they want attention. They don't care. They don't care whether it's good or it's bad attention. Attention's attention. And so they will wallow in their self-pity and want everybody to feel sorry for them. Now, you have every right to be hurt by it and deal with it as it happens. But there comes a point where you know, if you are a strong person, you know that I can't sit here and wallow in this. I have to figure out how to pick myself back up out of this. And you do it. And it's not an easy task. Every time you think you're getting ahead, you'll get 10 steps ahead and you'll get 10 steps ahead and you'll be knocked back 3 or 4. And sometimes you'll make it 2 steps ahead and then you'll be knocked back 10 steps back. But you know, because of your history and having gone through this before, you know that if you keep persevering and stay focused on what you want, where you're headed, no matter what gets in your way, you focus on what you want and where you're headed, you're going to get there. You know this. Your history proves it. You're the winner. You're the one who's strong. You should be proud of yourself, and you should know that anybody who tries to tell you that something's wrong with you, it's because they're jealous. They don't have the strength that you have. They don't have the willpower and the ability to stand strong on their own. You do. You're doing amazing. No, you are not alone. Even though you feel like it at times, you are not alone. Come here. That's what this is for. We're building a community of kind, compassionate, caring souls that want to support each other in their growth. Now, the ones who like to sit and wallow in the self-pity and go down the addiction road and everything else, the reason that they do it isn't because they may be hurt by it, but they're enjoying getting the sympathy from everybody. How many people do you know that are either addicts or constantly negative Nellies, and they've always got some drama going on or something else. Nothing's ever going their way. You know, everything bad happens to them. Let's think about that. Why do they like being there? 'Cause they're getting attention. They're getting attention. That's all they want. Those are not strong people. Those are not strong people at all. Those are people who have given up. If life hits you and knocks you to your knees and you don't get back up and pick yourself up and build yourself better and stronger than you were before you got dropped to your knees, then guess what? You have no desire to grow. You have no desire to want better things for yourself or your family or anything else. You have no desire for anything better. You're content being here where you're at. Stay there by all means. Wallow in your self-pity. Enjoy your addictions. Do whatever you got to do. But just don't drag us down, because the honest to God truth is we're the ones rising. You're the ones staying here happy in your little pity parties for your attention. You're happy being weak. Because kindness and compassion are not weakness like everybody wants to tell you. And here's why. Because a kind, compassionate human being doesn't come from anything other than somebody who life has smacked them around quite a few times. And they got sick and tired of it, and they said, nope, I'm in charge. I'm going where I want to go. And every time life smacked them down, they got the hell back up, and they built themselves better each time. That's not a weakness. Although society will have you believe that kindness and compassion are weakness. That's not a weakness. Kindness and compassion come from somebody who's walked without having kindness and compassion given to them. So if you meet somebody who is kind and compassionate, know one thing. Here is the important thing to know. Know one thing. That if you meet somebody who is kind and compassionate from the heart, from their soul, truly kind and compassionate, know one thing. Those people have gone through hell and brought themselves back. They know what it's like to have no kindness or compassion given to them. That's why they're kind and compassionate. Because they know what it's like to not have it. And they vowed, when they were stuck without the kindness and compassion, they vowed that they were going to do everything they possibly could to make sure that nobody had to feel that way. Not as long as they were around. So when society and the victim mentality people, you know, the ones that want to wallow in their self-pity and sit in their addictions, when they want to sit there and pretend like, oh, well, you're manipulative and you're easy to do, or you're easy to manipulate and control, you're weak because you're kind and compassionate. What they fail to understand is we're kind and compassionate because we know what it's like to not have it. And when you push us to a certain extent, what you're gonna get is not the fight and the battle that you want, so then you can bring us down to your level. You're literally gonna get, you gotta go. You can't go with me on my journey of growth. You're not growing. You can't go with me. It's not personal. At any time, you can change where you go. All you got to do is just decide to do something about it instead of sitting there wallowing and trying to drag me into your misery. It's not going to happen. The truth is, you meet somebody who is kind and compassionate, like to their soul, to their core, to who they are. Know that human being has been to hell and back many times. So when you bring your shit at them, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. And they're not weak. They're not weak. They know. Watch my last video. They know that they're a mirror for you. That's why you don't like them. That's why you try to drag them down to their level. Because what? Hanging around this kind, compassionate person makes me look like a piece of shit. Initially, you want to hang around that kind, compassionate person because in your demented, twisted head, you think that, oh, if I'm around this person, other people will think I'm the same. No, we're all our own human being. We're all unique, but nice try. Anyways, and yes, they say birds of a feather flock together. The thing is most of your kind, compassionate people they don't hang out in lots of groups all the time. They're not extremely social. They can be social when they have to go to a social function or be social. They enjoy being social when they have to be. But the truth is, they've done all of their growing on their own. They've met the devil several times over. They're not afraid of shit because they've had to pick themselves up so many damn times that fear is not something that sits in them. So you bring in your misery and thinking that you projecting it onto them, they're smart enough to know, dude, you're just telling me who you are. You can't drag me down to your level. But you're going to still play the games the victims are, the addicts, the people who want to wallow in their self-pity. They're still gonna try to drag us down into that level because they think in their head that kindness and compassion is a weakness. I'm here to tell you, and anybody else who is kind and compassionate from the soul, from the heart, will tell you, we did not get here because life was easy. We got here. We know what it's like to have life knock us to our knees time and time and time again, and nobody be kind and compassionate to us about it. We had to do it ourselves. So when we rise up and we're kind and compassionate, we're that way because we know that if somebody would have given it to us at that time, it would have made our life a little easier. So we look at it and go back and say, shit, there's somebody that's trying to pick themselves up. Here, let me give them a little of my kindness and compassion. Let me give them let me give them my hand to help pull them up here if they want to head this way. And you hand out your kindness and compassion to them. And if you find out that, well, they're really not wanting to energetically level up, they're not wanting to find their true authentic self and love themselves, they're not looking to be kind and compassionate like you are, then you know that, well, they gotta go. You're not heading where I'm heading. If they are, you giving that hand up, you just made a soul tie with another human being. You are now going to be the strength for each other as you head forward in life. And yes, you're going to have your ups and downs. Life is always going to happen to you no matter what. But once you energetically level up to loving yourself and finding your true authentic self, the honest to God truth is, a lot of things that caused you stress and frustrated you don't bother you anymore. Life happens and something goes wrong, you're just like, well, that's what I gotta deal with. Okay, I can deal with this and move along. We don't think about anything else. We go, okay, this happened, let's deal with it. We don't wallow anymore. You know why? Because we learned that wallowing didn't help. When we said, and I was queen of wallowing for a minute. Anybody who was on my Facebook page a few years back, I mean, before I started this journey, if you were on my Facebook page, I would have my nights. I'd sit and I'd drink and I'd cry and I'd listen to music all night and I would post different songs that I was listening to and whatever else. I wallowed. The difference is I didn't stay there. Then, when 2020 happened, I shared the story of my arrest in the last video. Then after that happened, the wallowing had to end. I had to figure out how to get beyond that because I just felt like that was not helpful. And then my mom passed. And then that just created me to look at things a lot different. I did have to go get, I did have to join a couple of support groups after she passed. And I say a couple because the first one was not, it was a good support group, but it was not made for somebody who had a mother like I did. So they didn't understand the relief that you get when your narcissistic parent passes away. They don't understand that. So I had to find a group that could understand that, and I did. I found a couple of them. Thank God. They were heaven sent. But Anybody who wants to look at somebody who's kind and compassionate as weak, that should be your first cue to know that that person is not a decent human being. A decent human being would never look at somebody kind and compassionate as weak or able to be manipulated. They would know that that kindness and compassion comes from strength beyond what most people can handle. So, if you've gone through a lot of things in life, a lot of ups and downs, been brought to your knees and had to start over from scratch several times, you understand the kindness and compassion. Reach out, share your stories, leave all my contact information below. Cell phone, you can text me, you can call me, you can, if you call me, leave a voicemail for sure. And then, if I don't answer, because sometimes when I'm in getting orders at the restaurant, I don't take that phone in with me. It's usually in the car, but I'll see it when I come back out. Anyways, and I can talk while I'm doing what I'm doing. Anyways, and I can always pull off to the side and park in the parking lot and have a conversation with you. You can text me, you can email me, you can put comments below. And I want you to know, I will not charge you for any of our conversations. And the reason that I'm not charging you is because when I was stuck in several positions that I was stuck in over my adult life, I had to reach out for support where money wasn't exchanged because I didn't have the money to do it. And so I vowed that when I got to the point where I energetically leveled up, I learned to find my true authentic self and love myself, that this has been planned for a long time. It originally was planned to be a blog because, well, we didn't really have a lot of videos and stuff back then. It was mostly blogs. So that's what it originally started as, and then life kept happening, and anyways, it ended up to this. So I will not charge you for any of this. Feel free to reach out. Don't think that because you don't have the money that you can't get somebody that's going to be kind and compassionate to you, because I am going to be. So reach out if you need to. If you are anybody who watches this that has not energetically leveled up and found your true authentic self or learned to love yourself, watch some of the previous videos so you can learn how to get there. And two, if you're looking to energetically level up, know one thing. Kindness and compassion is not weakness. It's a strength that unless you have it, you have no idea what kind of a strength it is. And cutting people off, that whole arm's length that I talk about, is the easiest thing in the world. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, and then you're like, you know, yeah, they were nice, I enjoyed their company, but nope, I'm not going that way, they can't come with me. And you just separate easily. You don't even think of, you might for a split second, but then you're like, nope, it's okay, it's good, I gotta go. And once you release it and start heading, it starts getting better. So again, feel free to reach out. But if you are a kind, compassionate person deep within your core, in your heart and in your soul, know that you are not alone, and know that you are not weak in any way, shape, or form. You are probably some of the strongest people on this earth. So feel free to reach out, guys. That's all I'm gonna have for you tonight. It's getting kind of late, and I got some big plans tomorrow that I gotta go take care of. And I can share it with you later, but not right now. I can't. Anyways, so I will see you guys in a day or two. If you need to talk or anything else, contact information's below. Feel free to reach out. Again, I charge you nothing for it. We're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to help God's children, so reach out. Anyways, have a great night, guys. Thanks. Bye. Love ya.